Short disclaimer for the rest of this video, I've actually recorded this afterwards. I'm really sorry if I have pronounced the maker's name incorrectly. Kladis or Cladis, or however it's pronounced, I apologise if I've pronounced it wrong. I've always pronounced it Cladis, but again, if I'm wrong, please correct me down below. Let me know how it's pronounced, and again, I apologise. Okay, back to the video. Hi everybody. So I was sent some lovely gifts by a very good friend across the pond in the States. You know who you are. Thank you so much. You spoiled me. You're wonderful. Thank you. Sent me some Cladis 3D Studio sliders. So before I go any further, because I brought up the website here, I think this is the full size, and then this is the mini. So just have a look here. So there's some different prices. This is why I'm a little bit confused. So the mini's around about $39.99, and then I'm not entirely sure what price this one is, because I don't know if that's the gunmetal grey. Because under other lights it's kind of like a greenish grey. I really don't know. I don't know much about these sliders, I apologise. So we've got some here. The blue Verk is $48.99. That gunmetal grey one is $38.24. It's on sale. So if we just click on this one. So yeah. I think they were on Etsy. I don't know if they're still on Etsy, but when I did a Google search, there is a site. So these are quite interesting. I've been, you know, I've been seeing them around, people raving about them, and I know that the maker did a collaboration with Magnus, did the coral Verk, is it? Made out of metals. But I was actually more interested in the 3D printed. But due to bad experiences I've had with 3D printed sliders in the past, not with this maker, but with some other random ones. I mean, this is going back to last year, in my early days of fidgets. I wasn't always that impressed with 3D printed sliders because they were very weak, not made very well, not finished very well, because, you know, 3D prints tend to be a little bit rough, do require some hand finishing. Yeah, regardless of that, I think things have come a lot forward since, you know, there's some makers who are really trying to, you know, I guess market these as really good sliders and making them really good sliders. So I know Cladis is one of them. I've bought some fidget boys that are, at the time of making this video, I have some on the way from Jason from Fidget Boy. I've also got one coming from Germany and another one coming from the UK. So I'm kind of testing the waters a little bit, trying to find some decent 3D printed sliders, mostly because I want one for work. I don't dare take anything, say, you know, my Magnus sliders or my Wrapped. I do not dare take any of those to work because they are just going to get destroyed, dropped, lost. You know, no way. I can't. Not with the work that I do. So yeah, I would be heartbroken if I lost this, for many more reasons than you would think. So yeah, 3D printed are the way to go for me for work. So these are interesting. I'm going to talk about the full size one first. So it's, I guess, actually quite comparable to a Magnus in size. I will measure them both in a minute. But a pretty decent size. Oh, they're repelling. Let's get them stuck together. There we go. Yeah, actually very very close in size to magnet sliders. You know, it's obviously bigger than the wrapped, but not too much bigger. You know, this is a good size. The outside texture, now I wasn't so sure about this because I thought this would just irritate me, but actually it's actually quite nice, especially this bit here. So it's like an X almost. These little sort of divoted bits here are really nice for your thumb in pushing upwards. That's a nice design. I don't like these sides that much, and there are a couple of sharp edges around here. Not really sharp, but you know, noticeable. But actually, despite my reservations, I'm actually more impressed by, you know, how that feels, and I'm okay with it, you know. I haven't got that, you know, is it trypophobia? I haven't got that, but I don't know, I just thought that would kind of irritate me, that kind of surface texture, but it doesn't. It's actually quite nice, it's well finished. Around the sides, I'd say not as well finished. There's some little bits here. There is a almost like a border going around. I don't know how I feel about those. You can definitely feel it. It's an edge going all the way around, and sometimes I can feel it when I'm holding it. Not entirely enamoured with that, but it's not the worst. And then if we have a look at the inside, now the plates are obviously raised, which they need to be, obviously for the sliding action. And you've got different designs on either side. Now this one actually looks quite worn. Obviously, that, you know, I am not the first owner of this, so this has been used. And obviously you've got here the Cladis logo in the middle. Now this one is very deeply etched or engraved or whatever of these lines, and little bits get stuck in it. And then obviously this is really deep here in the middle, much deeper than the other side, unless this is just really worn, I'm not sure. Because that's the thing, is these do wear. And I guess they may get better with time as they do wear. Oh, and they stick to each other like crazy, these sliders. But the only problem is, because they do wear, I guess they kind of shed, and you get bits, you know, stuck everywhere. So I'm not a big fan of that. But I don't know, maybe with use it gets better and they shed less. I really don't know. Kind of that's a new experience for me, I guess. So as for magnet strength, I kind of wish these were stronger, in all honesty. There's not really much of a feedback between, you know, the individual clicks. This is 2x4 layout, so it's a 3-click, which is great. I prefer 3 clicks, but I just don't find the magnet strength that impressive at all, really. That may be an unpopular opinion, and I'm sorry, but it's just my personal opinion. The magnets could be stronger, I guess. It does work, but I have to use it very gently. I think with time, as those plates wear, it may move around easier as well, but you know, kind of do have to push it quite a bit to get it to rotate. I'm fully aware that I'm not used to this completely yet, so that could also be a me problem. But yeah, I definitely think the magnets could be stronger, but at the same time, I don't know how old this is. I don't know if he's changed anything since, you know, if this is an old version or not. I really don't know. But yeah, personally, I think the magnets could be stronger. But in all honesty, this is, until I get my other 3D printed sliders, so far this is the best 3D printed I've tried. That could change once I get the others, but I might do a, you know, a 3D printed sliders comparison video once they all come in. Yeah, the only problem for us in UK and Europe is that most of the 3D printed slider manufacturers are in the US, and obviously we have to consider international shipping prices. So obviously I have this same problem when I, you know, send my own work, my leather cases, to, you know, the US and abroad. You know, you're never going to get away from international shipping prices. So, you know, all I would say is, you know, what makers are charging is probably and most likely what the shipper is charging. You know, don't moan and think, oh, that's a high shipping price, the maker must be overcharging. That won't be the case. You know, I was shocked when I went to my local post office and asked how much, you know, the postage would be to send, you know, my leather cases to the US, and it's ridiculous. I fully agree it's ridiculous, but again, it's set by the shipper. And there's nothing that can be done. So the problem we have over here is getting stuff from the States. 3D printed sliders is quite expensive, or it makes a 3D printed slider more expensive than perhaps you're willing to pay. But again, that's not the maker's fault. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. You know, international prices have just gone insane since COVID, so just keep that in mind. So I had been looking at these, but just wasn't sure. So I'm really glad these were sent to me. Now, as I'm playing with it now, I'm getting a little bit better at moving it, but I'm having to adjust how I use it, I guess. And that could be the same with every fidget, but I still think I'm being a bit too gentle for my liking, and I'm not feeling these individual clicks very much at all. So I prefer stronger magnets if that's possible. I don't know, I have no idea what strength these are in here, so yeah, no idea. And it's a little bit crunchy as well. I kind of like that. It's nice, not too crunchy, just a little bit. Like a bit of crunch. So moving on to the mini. Now this actually feels rougher than this one in terms of finish. Could be because of the size, that's just feels that way. I don't know, but again, same kind of design. Love this little divoted bit. I actually love the size of this. This is a great little size. Let's just compare it. So, you know, it's smaller than the Wrapped. There we go. Obviously, it's going to be much smaller than the Magnets. Not Magnets, Magnus. I can't talk today. A lot smaller. But actually, 1 second, let me get my smooth toe 2-click. So that might be more comparable in size. Yeah, a bit more comparable in size to my 2-click smooth toed. But just not as wide, because it's quite a wide slider. Yeah, I like this size. This is like a perfect size for my uniform pocket for work. Now, because it's so much smaller, I think, you know, getting the magnets in there, because again, this is a 3-click, this is 2x4. He's managed it on such a small slider. Ow, pinch me. That was stupid. Yeah, what was I saying? So it just about works. Just. You kind of lose some of the individual clicks if you're really not careful. Like, you have to be really gentle with this. More gentle than with this one. Because otherwise you just lose those individual clicks entirely. I think it's just because it's so small. The magnets have to be closer together. obviously. So yeah, out of the both of them, this one performs better, I think, simply just because of the size. But I do love this size. It's actually a bit harder to push, and I don't know if it's because the plates have less wear than this one. Again, it's used. I'm not the first owner, so I really don't know. Again, this plate seems to be more worn than this one. Got the same kind of border around the edge, which I don't know. I don't really like it that much. Just this going around. It's not the worst thing in the world. There are some more rough edges here I can feel, and on here. Not so much at the ends, but overall, it's a pretty good slider. It's just I guess harder to use. You just got to be a bit more careful, and it really does not want to move around either. It just can sort of stay in that position. It doesn't swing around. I mean, that may be the nature of 3D printed sliders, I guess, because they don't have the weight to pull them round, like the weight of the material, because, you know, this is so light. I really don't know. I'm going to find out, you know, when I get more, but it is pretty good. Actually, the magnets on this feel a bit stronger, just a little bit, but still not strong enough for my liking. Again, I think it's still a bit too weak. I can't really feel those individual clicks very well unless I'm really gentle. Looking at this, I can't tell because they're slightly translucent, these plates. The corner magnets actually look bigger than the middle magnets. Now, if that is the way it is, then that's pretty cool. I don't think, or I can't see very well with this one. I think these kind of look like they're all the same size. I'm not entirely sure. I never thought I'd get these, so I've never, in all honesty, I've never really, you know, read much about them, but I just thought I can still do a video because I can, you know, come at them from a completely fresh perspective, I guess. Yeah, they're kind of fun. I think this little mini is going to go in my pocket for work, and I'll probably use it some more. Yeah, it's a little hard to push sometimes. It requires more force to kind of push it up. But once it gets going, it is like you don't want to be applying that much force again because you just lose the clicks. It's a bit strange. Oh, and the cat's got in my light box. Brilliant. Okay, so that's where I take pictures of all my pouches, so there's going to be cat hairs in there now. Brilliant. And probably paw prints. So anyway, not much more I can say really. I'm not sure when this video is going to go out. Everything's staggered at the moment because I've had, you know, I've been very lucky. I've had a lot of things coming in. But as I said, I've got 2 sliders from Fidget Boy coming. I've got 1 slider from a German maker, I think on Etsy they're called Fidget Manufacture. That's on the way. I've heard some good things about that. And then I've also just got 1 from the UK, which was kind of interesting to me for a couple of reasons, but I'll cover that in the video, I think, whenever it arrives, which will hopefully be soon. So yeah, let me know if you know anything more about these. You know, let me know if perhaps these are, you know, this one is an older design and perhaps they're stronger now. Would appreciate it. Thank you very much, the person who sent me these. Again, you know who you are. You're wonderful. I've got more things to send you, so in due course. So yeah, And if you've got these, please share down below like what you think of them and what your experiences have been with them so far, and any other 3D printed sliders you may have as well. I'd appreciate that, because I am on the lookout. So have a wonderful day. Oh, did I weigh these? I'm not sure if I did. I don't think I did. It's because this is like the third attempt of me doing this video. So that's about, I think the magnets are interfering, so 21 grams, 22 grams for the mini, 28 grams for the full size. So there we go, quick weigh. So have a lovely day, and thanks for watching. Take care.